Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of my makeup decluttering series. As you can see, I've already got a head start here with my powder drawer. I think I'm going to try to get through powders, highlighters, and bronzers today, so hopefully we can get through everything. I am just really quickly going to mention again, guys, this is not everything in my makeup collection. A lot of it also does sit at my actual vanity, but I will be leaving my vanity decluttering as the very last video in this whole kind of mini series. Okay, so let's go ahead and just jump right in. This first powder is this Dream Matte Powder by Maybelline. Let me quickly refocus. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So there is that powder, and as you can see, this one is pretty much gone, so I'll definitely be tossing this guy out. Even though I went all the way through it, I actually remember not liking this powder. I will definitely never repurchase it because it just sat on top of my foundation really in a very obvious and unflattering way. I think I finished it up because I just wanted to finish it, but I really did not like the way this looks on my skin. I know some people like swear by this powder, but unfortunately it just did not work for me. So I'm gonna be tossing that out. Next is this e.l.f. Booster Powder. This is the e.l.f. Mineral Booster in Corrective Yellow. I ordered this because I thought it might be something comparable to like Ben Nye Banana Powder, but it's actually this crazy neon yellow color, and I really don't like it. It's like an Easter egg yellow. It's really, really finely milled, but once it actually gets onto the eyes, it really just doesn't do anything. It's really pale, and for my skin tone, it's just way too light. Next is this Laura Geller Balance and Brighten Foundation Powder. This I will definitely hold on to. I gave this one a lot of love for a long time, and it took forever to even make a dent in it, so I really do like this. It's a very natural looking powder, nothing too cakey and heavy, so I really love that. I will continue to use it up. This next one is by Josie Moran, and this is her Argan Matchmaker Foundation Powder in light medium. This also I will be holding on to. I gave this one a lot of love for a long time as well. I'm sorry guys if the lighting is changing. It's a really gloomy day here today, so the lighting might be kind of going in and out, so sorry about that. But yeah, this is the powder. It's a really beautiful smooth powder. It's so gorgeous and flattering, so I will be holding on to that. Next is this Pressed Blotting Powder by MAC. This I will definitely hold on to. It's just a really simple, almost translucent type of powder. It's really just meant for like touching up your T-zone. This next guy I'll go ahead and probably get rid of. This was the Milani Compact Makeup in Honey Beige. I actually really loved this. This is a super high coverage powder. I forget that these are like kind of annoying to open. Oh, there we go. So there's what it looks like, and to give you an idea, look how heavy that coverage is. Really full coverage. So this is great as a powder foundation. I think I'm gonna go ahead and let it go just because it's almost done and I don't think I'm really gonna touch it again. Next is this Lorac Porefection Baked Perfecting Powder in medium. And this one is also almost completely done. You can actually see like the pan right here. So there's really only product left on the sides of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this go too. Also really quickly, love this powder. Beautiful finish, very natural, great coverage. Definitely recommend this. I would say this is probably one of my favorite powders. Next is this e.l.f. Translucent Mattifying Powder. And there's what that looks like. You know, I can't say that I love this. I haven't barely used it, so I think I'm gonna hold on to it just so that I can try it out a little bit more, but it's just a translucent pressed powder. Next is this e.l.f. High Definition Powder, and this is in Corrective Yellow again. I guess I ordered like a bigger version of it. And yeah, I didn't even open this, or I think I did open it once, and it was pretty much just the same as that other one. I must have ordered them on separate occasions, but I will be giving that away because I really don't like that neon yellow color. Next is this powder from La Mer. It's this huge jumbo powder, and this is in 03 Beige. And I will definitely continue to hold on to that and use it. I really like the coverage of their loose powder. Next is this Laura Mercier Rich Vanilla Mineral Powder with SPF 15. I purchased this, but I know it's way too dark for my skin tone. Like, really, really too dark for me, but I have heard amazing things about this powder, and I actually love the translucent one, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this one away just because it's way too dark for me. Next is this Makeup Forever Duo Matte Powder. I love this powder. This is definitely another one of my absolute favorites. Super high coverage, like really, really high coverage. This is a better shade for me in the summertime, so I will hold on to it for that time, but I love this. It really is mattifying and it covers everything so well. Next is this Bare Minerals Matte Loose Powder in the shade Medium Beige. And I don't remember really touching this all that much. It actually doesn't look too far off of my skin tone, so I think I actually might hold on to this and play with it a little bit more. Next is this NYX Color Correcting Powder. And don't tell me this is in yellow. Oh no, it's in banana. Phew, I was gonna say, oh my God, I have a problem. Okay. Well, I do have a problem, but not in the corrective yellow. And I really do like this. I think I actually did a review on it, and I really do love this. I actually think I like this a little bit more than the Ben Nye Banana Powder, only because the Ben Nye one, I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it looks a little bit more obvious than this does, and this is basically the same tone as that. So I really love this and will continue to love it. On the sides here is this NYX powder foundation. This is their Stay Matte but Not Flat. This is still sitting in the box, so obviously I must have not liked it that much. It's in the shade 09 Tan. So that is what it looks like inside. And I've swatched a little bit here on my hand, if you can see. Don't know if you can really see, but it actually does have really good coverage. It just looks a little bit more on the orangey side to me. I don't know if that's my eyes deceiving me, but I don't know, it looks like kind of orangey, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and see if anyone wants this. Gonna be giving it away. And then on the side here is just this little mini Laura Geller Balance and Brighten foundation in medium. This is really great for travel, so I will be holding on to that little mini guy. And then the last few things over here are just little poofs and mirrors and things like that. So yeah, that is it for the powders. Okay, so now we are in my highlighters and bronzers drawer, and I'm gonna go ahead and just start off with this big guy. This is the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette, and I have barely used this. Here is what it looks like inside, and I remember not being too crazy about it just because the powders felt a little bit dusty, but obviously they have really, really amazing pigmentation, so I will go ahead and continue to play with that. Next is this e.l.f. Contour Blush and Bronzing Cream. And I really actually like this, not so much for the bronzer, but I did like the cream blush in this. It's so beautiful. It's a little dried up now. That is what the color looks like. It's just the most beautiful, like warm mid-tone pink. So I will continue to hold on to this, but I think I'm gonna throw this in my blush drawer. So I'm just gonna jump into this next. It's gonna be just whatever I grab. I'm not gonna try to separate it by bronzers and highlighters because I just think that will take too long. So this next one is this Benefit High Beam, and I'm definitely gonna hold on to this. It's an old favorite of mine. It's one of the only liquid highlighters that I have and one of the only like pinky toned highlighters as well. I think it looks really pretty in the spring and summertime. It just melts into the skin, and I really love this one. Next is this NARS Orgasm Illuminator. I don't think I've ever used this. Obviously it was like a little sample that I got with something. I don't know. To me, that doesn't really do a whole lot. It looks really natural and pretty, but I'm probably not going to use this. To me, it just is so subtle that, I don't know, I don't really like it. So I'm gonna be giving that away. Next is this Laura Geller Baked Highlighter in French Vanilla. And I like this because it's more of like a mattifying type of highlighter. It's not too shimmery and crazy, and I really do like that, so I'll hold on to that guy. Next is this e.l.f. Baked Eyeshadow. This is an eyeshadow, but I bought it with the intention of using it as like a bronzer slash highlight because it's got obviously a really strong iridescence to it. And that is what that looks like. To me, there's just nothing really all that exciting about this color. It's not pigmented enough to be a really good eyeshadow, but I also don't think that it looks good as like a bronzer or anything either. So I will be getting rid of that. Next is this e.l.f. booster, another booster, and this is one of their shimmers, and that's what that looks like. So obviously it's a loose powder shimmer. And I think I'm going to be getting rid of this one because it has glitter in it, and I really don't like glitter on my cheeks. I just think past the age of like 12, that's just not cute to me. So I'm going to be getting rid of that. And then next is this hard candy highlighter in Tiki. I really remember loving this a lot when I first purchased it. Let me go ahead and switch hands. And it's just a really beautiful, like pearly type of sheen. So I will hold on to that. Okay, I try to wipe off my hand. That way I have a little bit more room to kind of swatch colors. So the next one is this e.l.f. baked eyeshadow. So another one of these, and this one is in the shade Enchanted. And there's what that looks like. It looks like it would be this really beautiful gold, but once it's actually swatched, it actually comes out a little bit dull. I know it probably looks really beautiful on camera, but in person it does have just a dullness to it that I really don't like. Next is this Laura Geller Bronze and Brighten in medium, and there's what that looks like. This one I know for a fact, I don't even think I've ever used it before, but it does look a little bit on the reddish tone to me, and I don't like that there's a shimmer in it, so I'm gonna be giving that away. Next is this NYX blush, and this is in the shade Taupe. I know this makes for a really beautiful contour. I think I've only tried it a couple of times, but I will hold on to this because it's this really like pretty brown tone but with a gray in it. So it's really nice for contouring. The next thing is another Milani face powder, but this is in the shade Medium Tan. And I bought this with the intention of using it as like a contour. And there is what that one looks like. And this is actually pretty nice. I actually really like the color of this. It's not too deep or too red, so I will hold on to this. Next is this Tarte highlighter in the shade Angelic. This was part of like a little mini set that came out at Sephora. And there's what that looks like. Sorry if you can hear my neighbor start his car up. And there's what it looks like swatched. So it's just a really pretty silver toned, I don't know, it looks a little bit like a champagne to me actually. So I will play with that more because I haven't really tried it on my face yet. The next is this Nourishing Argan Oil of Morocco, Marc Anthony. What is this? I think this is like a bronzer, and I got this either in a Birchbox or an Ipsy bag, and I have not tried it at all, so I will hold on to that. Gosh, this is such an awakening of what I have not used. It's really sad. Anyways, okay, so next is this Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Love this bronzer. I have the full size of it sitting at my vanity, so this one is kind of nice for travel, so I will hold on to that. Next is this Cargo Mini Bronzer, and I think I'm gonna get rid of this one because first of all, it's way too light and it's got kind of like an orangey shimmer iridescence to it. So I probably will never reach for this. Next is this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. And this I will definitely hold on to. This is one of, I think, the first MAC highlighters I ever purchased, and I really, really liked it. That is what it looks like. I'm sure a lot of you already know what this looks like because it's a really big fan favorite, so I will hold on to that. Same with this Dior one. This was the Dior Amber Diamond. This is probably the only highlighter I have that has that kind of reddish amber tone to it, which I think is really unique. So I'm gonna hold on to that. Of course, the formulation of it is so smooth and it just lays and melts into your skin so beautifully. Next is this e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzing Powder Duo. And this was supposed to kind of mimic NARS's Orgasm and Laguna duo that came out. So here are the colors swatched out. As you can see, the bronzer has a bit of a reddish tone to it, which I personally don't really like. And then the blush has sparkle in it. It's a really pretty color, the base, but I really don't like the sparkle, so I will be giving this one away. Next is this bronzer by Rimmel, and this is in 021 Sunlight. And I bought this such a long time ago. And again, it's one of those red tone bronzers that I don't like. This one I know I am definitely gonna sell over to Glambot. I know it looks really dirty because, as we all know, NARS packaging gets dirty so quickly, but this is NARS Laguna Bronzer. And I have barely touched this. I really don't like it. For some reason, I don't like the way it looks on my skin. I don't know if it's because it pulls a little red or what it is, but I'm just not crazy about it on me. I also don't think I mentioned on camera in my last video that I am going to be selling these products over to Glambot. Glambot is an online company that buys gently used makeup, and this is gonna be my first time selling to them. If you're wondering why there's some that I will sell and some that I won't, is because they have a list of brands that are approved. You can't just send whatever products you want. They have to be approved brands, and I'm pretty sure NARS is one of them. So I'm definitely going to clean this guy off and try to sell it over to Glambot. And I will leave a link to Glambot down below in my bio if you guys are interested in learning more. Next is this NYX Matte Bronzer, and that is what that looks like. Wow, why so many bronzers, Pam? Gosh, this is just crazy. And this one I'm definitely gonna throw out. I feel like it barely makes a difference on my skin, and again, it's one of those redder tone type of bronzers. Next is this Urban Decay Baked Bronzer, and this is in Baked. And this I think I'm definitely also gonna try to sell over to Glambot because I barely used it. It's more of like a shimmery toned bronzer, which I personally don't like too much. I think when I bought it, I kind of liked that whole look, but I'm really not into that anymore, so I'm going to try to sell this over as well. Next guy is this MAC one, and I don't even know what collection this is from, but I actually didn't purchase this. It was given to me by a friend who used to work for MAC, and this is Lush Light Bronze Studio Care Blend Pressed. And that is what it looks like. I really do not like this one at all. It's, again, really orangey and red. But I think I held on to it because he gave it to me, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and finally let this one go because I never use it. Okay guys, so I think we're on the home stretch here. So this was definitely another one that I think my friend gave to me. This is the MAC Rose Olay Special Reserve Highlight Powder. And it kind of looks like this really cool kind of like crinkly paper, but I have tested this before and it was a little bit too dull for me. It's not like shimmery enough to be a highlight, but it's also not muted enough to be like a face powder. So I never really understood the point of these types of powders that they have that are just kind of like this weird muted iridescence. So not for me, but I will see if maybe Glambot will take this. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Next is this cream bronzer by Chanel. This is the Soleil Tan de Chanel. And as you can see, it's just this giant cream bronzer. And I actually really love this bronzer. It looks very natural and beautiful. I love just dipping my beauty blender into it and just kind of going around the sides of my face just to warm up my complexion. There's just a quick swatch of it there. It's just a really beautiful bronzer. It's so smooth. So I actually think I'm going to take this guy and put it over at my vanity and try to keep using it again. Last one, guys, yay! Okay, so this is the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick in Beige, and I know for a fact that this is super broken. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I know, it's so sad, but I will probably go ahead and let this one go, obviously. Sadly, it sounds like I'm trying to negotiate with myself about whether or not I should let this go. The color, of course, is gorgeous. This was by far my favorite shimmer brick. It's just so pretty. These shimmer bricks are always so gorgeous, but I mean, I'm not gonna use it. It's way too broken. So. Okay guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry if this was a really long one. I think in my next one, I'm gonna be moving on to blushes, which might just get a whole video on their own, so we'll see. Be sure to subscribe if you wanna stay updated with my next video, which will be coming up very soon. And thank you again for watching. Bye.